Media TV. This is a channel where we explore the truth behind the headlines. I am Mike Udenta. As many people have been expecting to hear what has been happening between IPOB and Ohaneze and Igbo, many of the enemies have been wanting to see that the conflict continues. But the Igbo nation will disappoint them and already has disappointed them all. As the apex Igbo sociocultural organization, Ohaneze and Igbo, and Nnamdi Kanu-led indigenous people of Biafra, yesterday being Tuesday, agreed to work harmoniously towards the interest of the Igbo nation. We keep saying it in this channel, Nnamdi Media TV, it is about the interest of the Igbo nation. The two groups, which had been at a loggerhead, especially in the recent time, brokered peace at the instance of the First Republic Aviation Minister, Chief Mbazulike Amechi, the one many people know, the boy known as the boy is good. He was the one who brokered that peace. There are other people who've been working behind the scene, people we don't want to know, many of you know them, because they do not like what has been happening. You all remember when Nnamdi Kanu threatened and asked IPOB to stone Nnamdi if they see him. For what? We asked. Again, you remember Nnamdi is not in any paid position. He's only the head of a social cultural group, and the verbal and unwarranted attack were not necessary. Again, we reached out. Ginger Media was part of it. The two groups, which had been at loggerhead, again in this recent time, eventually agreed to speak to one another. After the meeting yesterday, addressing the newsmen after the peace meeting at the elder statesman's house in Ukbo, Nnewi South local government area of Anambra State, Mbazulike Amechi, chief, described the whole incident as unnecessary and that any form of or any altercation, that is, any conflict between Ohaneze and Igbo, including IPOB, must cease. He said that the body was fighting for the welfare of Igbo. Of course, Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB is fighting the same cause. Ohaneze is fighting for the marginalization of Igbo, likewise Nnamdi Kanu, because it is a question of synergy. We need the elders need the young. Chief Mbazulike Amechi, the only surviving member of Sikh movement, expressed joy over the withdrawal threat by Nnamdi Kanu of stoning Chief John Nnamdi, as well as agreeing to work harmoniously with Ohaneze and Igbo for the interest of the Southeast. Of course, that's what we wanted. We wanted peace. And in the media, we want to use the opportunity, please, to tell everyone listening to this broadcast to please stop the insult on the elders. Let us channel our anger to those we have elected, those that have the mandate, those that we pay every month. That is the governors, the House of Reps. They are the ones that we should show our anger to. These are people that collect salaries every month and ought to work for our interest. They must give us account. That is the people we must channel our anger to. Chief Mbazulike Amechi also revealed part of the resolution from the meeting was the demand for the proscription of IPOB, which he described as illegal. He urged governors and House of Reps members in region to commence action towards lifting the ban. Again, we will say here, it is very necessary because we know who the terrorists are. The terrorists are the Fulani headsmen. The terrorists are those Boko Haram boys. IPOB is not a terrorist organization. IPOB is a peaceful organization. IPOB is only doing and fighting for justice. It was wrong to have proscribed them. We at Nnamdi Media still maintain it is still wrong to proscribe them. What we actually want, we want all of us to come together collectively, channel our energy to make sure that every state assembly in the Southeast must implement the anti-open grazing law in our region. Anything short than that is unacceptable to us, and this is where we must show our anger. because we are blaming the governors. But none of us talks about those in the state's House of Assembly who have the constitutional mandate to make these laws, and they all drive only in SUVs and they do nothing. Yes, I remain Mike Udenta, and I'm saying this from Njenje Media Studio in Enugu here. Nothing is going to stop us from calling these men and women to order. They are not only there to drive SUVs and move around and intimidate you and I, run us off the road, but they must do the things they must do in order to protect lives and properties in the southeast. Now let us come back to the meeting. He said, that is Chief Mbazurika Amechi, he said, I summoned the two bodies of Ohaneze and IPOB to express my displeasure with what I have been reading in newspaper about Kanu giving orders to the stoning of Chief John Nnamdi. That really made me angry. And when some of you reached out, you in the press, and as I said to you, please make sure that you bring all of them to me. Let us discuss. And he continues here, I am happy that even before my peace meeting, Kanu has already retracted the statement. We therefore appeal to Modo to accept the retraction and get it off his mind, as IPOB has agreed to work with them. Now, Njenje Media here will add, not only to ask Modo to forgive, we will join and say, Modo, please forgive. No matter what, IPOB are still your children. On the same note, we must tell IPOB, please let the insult stop. Modo was never part of bringing Python dance. Rather, we have video evidences where he actually was condemning it. If we want to be sincere to ourselves, the one we should hold responsible for Python dance and the invasion of Afaroku is the Abia State governor, who was the only man elected who could have stopped that invasion. But sadly, he failed, and he failed in that duty. Okay, now if we come back to the meeting of yesterday, the two bodies, realizing that it is the same battle they are fighting, like we said before, we are all fighting the same battle. Marginalization. We are fighting killings and the denial of federal government to develop the southeast. And Igbo land in general have agreed to work together for the welfare of Igbo. Now people, let me tell you what unity does. Do you remember that the same yesterday was when this meeting happened? Immediately after this meeting, when the federal government saw that Igbo are beginning to work together, suddenly we saw Enugu International Airport that's been closed for close to 1 year. Suddenly they said that airport will be reopened on the 30th of August 2020. That means in 45 days from today. Could it be that the federal government is now beginning to be jittery that Igbo are no longer fighting themselves? My brothers and my sisters, online, please let us be wise. Let us channel our anger to the right quarters. The right quarters is not in Nyangodo. The right quarters are those we have elected. Be it in Abuja, be it in the state local government, be it and in the local government, everyone that we have elected, that we are paying salary, that is there representing us, must be held to account. Now, in this meeting, we have a representative from the IPOB, that is Barrister Aloy Ejimako, who said that he was at the meeting with the blessings and instruction of his clients. And afterwards, he thanked Chief Mbazurika Amechi, who had said was not a stranger to what he was doing, having once been declared a terrorist. You know what he was saying? During the Biafran War, the reason why Biafran actually did not win that war was because those who ought to, the elders then who ought to have advised Ojukwu kept them under house arrest, including Chief Mbazurika Amechi and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe. Sadly, if these men were outside, they could have reached out for an amicable solution, but hey, they were at that point said that they weren't working for the Biafra, therefore kept them in house arrest, and eventually we went to war, and that war we eventually lost. That is indeed a sad commentary that happened at that time. Now, the representative I said was represented by Aloy Ejimako. Then again, after the whole meeting, they all agreed and said that IPOB is not a terror group, as I said before. Now, they also stressed that the urgent need for regional security and insisted that such would not be achievable without the deep proscription of the pro-Biafran group that is IPOB, saying it has to participate in the muzzle of building the security. Of course, if we have to get to the point of getting a regional security outfit, of course, yes, IPOB must be part of the security outfit. IPOB must be part of those that has to guard the villages, the towns, against external invaders. There is nothing that we can do if IPOB is not, integrated into whatever is happening. IPOB has come to stay. Of course, whether you like it or not, that is the reality. There was a synergy between us and Ohaneze. IPOB was trying to say that there was a synergy between them and Ohaneze. Nobody is leaving this place with acrimony. That was what the chief now said. There is peace in Igbo land. Anyone coming to Igbo land to take advantage of some leadership crisis in Igbo land is actually making a great mistake. Therefore, after that meeting yesterday, we can categorically say there is no longer any squabbles, any quarrel between any organizations in the Igbo nation. The Igbo nation will definitely emerge stronger than as you can ever imagine. The Igbos are united and they love themselves. Otherwise, they couldn't have sustained themselves for 3 years that they fought the civil war. And even after the civil war, the Igbos helped themselves. They help themselves. They do everything, and they take people as venture capitalists. They take people as servants, and after a while, they settle them. And this cannot be done by people who hate themselves. Whoever saying anything contrary is sowing a seed of discord. Now, this is obviously from the side of IPOB. Eventually, Ohaneze spoke as well, where Ohaneze spoke and said that the president of the body, that is Chief Damian Okeke Ogene, who represented Chief John Nyanwodo, said that the body endorsed all that was contained in the communique that they read out to the press yesterday. He said, "Those who thought our fences have fallen, we now know that the fences are much stronger than they ever thought." On that note, we will say, we at Njenje Media, we are glad and we are happy. We can go back and take some hero and some ompa in being happy that the needed peace we need in the Igbo nation that we've been assiduously been working towards